Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you guys some beachy coastal DIY decor using Dollar Tree items. I'm so excited to sit outside. Finally got our outdoor space set up for the summer and I'm so excited. I love it. I will probably be sharing it over on my other channel, Rebecca Jean, so if you want to see our outdoor patio makeover refresh area out here on the deck, check that out. Stay tuned for that. But for today, the first one I have to share with you is one that's inspired by something that I saw at Pottery Barn, and then the other ones are just going to be like beachy, like coastal farmhouse. Anyway, these are kind of coastal farmhouse and beachy decor DIYs, so I hope you guys will enjoy. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to put in an acrylic pour that I did. This is actually the first largest one that I've done. I gave it to my sister for her birthday, and it's going to be so perfect to go with beach decor as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started. So getting started with the first one, like I said, this one was inspired by a seashell piece of art that I saw at Pottery Barn, and I thought it was a little bit pricey, and I thought it was something that I could just get some good fun inspo from. So what I'm going to do is take one of these square signs from Dollar Tree. This is a Valentine's Day sign, but you can literally use any of their signs, and they tend to have these every season, year round. There is some kind of sign at Dollar Tree. So I'm painting this over using a mixture with half of my white chalk paint and half of some white sand. I got this sand in Dollar Tree. If you live near a beach, you can definitely feel free to just use some sand from the great outdoors. But I am using the Dollar Tree sand and my chalk paint. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of mix that up pretty much like equal part ratio, half and half. And it was a little bit clumpy, but that's okay because it's going to really give this like a really cool texture when it dries. So don't worry that it's not going on evenly. It will all dry, and I promise you it looks really cool when it's done.
Roads and up in the clouds, but I've always felt that something's missing. That was until I found you right there in the crowd. You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're
I did try to spread out the kind of sand as best I could. However, it is not fully spread out, and that's okay. Like I said, I think it just adds to the whole beachy magic of this DIY wall decor piece. So yeah, don't worry about it. Just sponge it on the best you can and then let it dry. And once that's dry, I am going to add some shells on here. Now I actually found all of these in Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these shells, and I basically started with them all pointing in toward the center. Now I actually laid these out first before gluing them in place, so I could kind of get an idea how I was going to put them. I started with them pointing in toward the center, and just kind of worked my way out as I went around, just trying to get these basically to make a circle in the center of our sign here with all of the little points pointed in toward the center.
For you, I was just a shell, so stuck in the dark. You came into my life and started a fire. You made me feel like I could touch the sky. Oh, there's nothing missing now that you're my desire. Now all I have to do is to make you mine. 'Cause I know, and you know what we could be. Like a song, like a perfect melody. Baby, don't say you don't believe in me, 'cause you know and I know we're on to
And here is how mine turned out. It really simple and easy. This was just cost like maybe $6 or $7 to make, just because I had to buy the shells. But you know, if you live near the beach, you could honestly make this for almost nothing. You just need a sign. So some sand, some shells, and a little bit of paint. Really easy to do. And here was my Pottery Barn inspo, so you guys can compare this, but I really like how this one turned out. Now moving on for the next one, This one is just kind of a very random creative thing that I thought I would see if I could try to make here. I had one of these little canvas art pieces from Dollar Tree, and I decided to cut a piece of just some leftover cork sticker sheets that I had also from Dollar Tree, but I had one that was already just like left over, and I thought I could cut a piece to kind of fit in the center of my canvas. I didn't want to throw it away, and it was already cut, but I kind of had a piece left over just large enough to fit in here. I'm going to stick that in the center of my canvas, and then we're going to go ahead and make a design on here using some white chalk paint. Now, actually, as I'm recording this, I just had an idea, so stay with me. I'm going to tell you in a second. First, let me explain. What I did was I actually took a plastic Ziploc bag and filled it with some chalk paint, and then I snipped off the tip of that so I could basically, you guys might have seen this tip for using icing, like cake icing or frosting, and I decided to do it with chalk paint. However, for some reason, I couldn't get the chalk paint to really get a good flow without making it flow too thick and too fast. And then I was just having trouble getting the right amount to come out. It was either too small of a hole or it was just too large and there was too much paint coming out. But I'm basically just trying to create some waves and swirls from the outside corners in toward the middle and have them kind of going different ways to kind of just bring a cool swirled effect to this. So it's something you can definitely just have fun and be creative with. And if you're not sure exactly what you want to do, you could do it in pencil and just kind of stencil it out for yourself, get some ideas and play around with it. But what I just realized that you could use, and I'm going to use this in the next DIY I'm just about to show you guys next, is a fabric paint pen. This fabric writer works really, really well. You guys could literally draw your design with this. It just dries into a nice white paint. I didn't need to use the chalk paint. I thought this was going to be kind of cool using the plastic bag like an icing kit. But to be honest, if you have one of these tubes of fabric paint, I think that's going to work way better. Not to mention, you can actually also get sometimes the little bottles of fabric paint in Dollar Tree. So if you can find those in white or blue, maybe even gray, you could do something really nice that'll be a nice beachy coastal decor. I wanted to add in a little bit of that sandy texture. So if you've got just some natural tan or brown sand, you could sprinkle that on here and it would be really nice. I did not have any more sand. I think I have some of the white sand left over, but I wanted a little bit of that tan sandy color. So what I actually decided to do is go to my spice drawer. Cloves or nutmeg might be nice. They might give a darker, deeper brown color. I thought about using cinnamon, but I wasn't sure if it was a little bit too reddish. So the one I settled on was cumin, and I have to say it really fragranced our entire house. So yes, I pick a spice that you enjoy the fragrance and the scent of and go for that. Just sprinkled that cumin all over and let it kind of dry just like that. And then once the paint was dry, I brushed off any remaining excess cumin on here. And honestly, I wasn't sure how this would turn out, but you guys, I think it looks kind of cool. I was actually kind of impressed with this, and I was like, this is quite inexpensive. This was, I don't know, maybe I spent $2 to make this for everything total. And this is a pretty cool, very unique piece of decor, and I really like that coastal farmhouse, just the coastal beachy vibes. And I feel like this could fit in with boho decor as well. It's really just a very neutral piece that I think you could incorporate into a lot of different styles. So I love that about it. The next one, I'm taking a dollar store planter. Dollar Tree has so many planters, you guys. So if you need planters, definitely check at Dollar Tree. But I've always liked this kind of wavy design on some of these, so I actually picked up a few of them a while back, and I decided to go with this tan and white color combo and just take my tan color planter and then take that fabric writer. It's really nice because it's paint in a bottle that you can control the tip, almost like you're writing with a marker or something. You can really control more of a precision I think, than what you can do with a paintbrush. So plus it dries with the texture, so that's really cool too, because you get the raised texture. So all I did was basically just outline and trace all the raised edges of the design in this basket, this planter. And that's it. I mean, this was really easy to do, very inexpensive. And I ordered my fabric paint here that I'm using. I ordered it on Amazon, so I will try to put a link for that down below. But also keep in mind, Dollar Tree does sell the fabric paint. I've seen it in some of the stores. I don't find it all the time, but I definitely see it from time to time. So if you can find it, the bottle is obviously smaller for $1, but yeah, you can pick up fabric paint in Dollar Tree. Now for the next one, I'm taking, again, this is a leftover frame from Dollar Tree. I believe they still sell this, although I had this one from a couple years ago. So I took it apart from what I had in here previously, and I'm just gonna be using the frame now and gonna make this into a beachy frame. So at first I was going to paint the frame, and I decided not to spray paint it white first and actually just fill in that outside edge with some of the white fabric paint. And then on top of that, use some crushed seashells. I'm gonna put a link for these crushed seashells. I can't remember if I got them on Amazon or from Michael's, but I'll go back and check where I got them, and I will try to put a link for you guys. But I believe Dollar Tree may also sell crushed shells. I can't remember, but I know that they do have a lot of different options for shells. So even if they are not crushed, you could probably crush them yourself easily enough. And then we're gonna just kind of put all those pieces along the edge into the white fabric paint, which holds them on there so they dry in there like a glue, basically. That's it. And then I'm gonna just pop a picture in here. I wanted to add like a beachy photo, but anyway, here is what I ended up adding. So I'm hoping to get some pictures at the beach this summer and put them in this frame, and I think that'll be really pretty. I wanna do like a family photo by the beach. I think that would be so nice. So once I get one of those, I'm gonna pop that right into this frame. But here is how my summer coastal beachy shell picture frame turned out. Now moving on, I wanted to share with you guys this acrylic pour. So this one is one that you guys were voting to see over on my Instagram stories. So I said that I would share that over here and what I used to make it, because this one is actually the first large acrylic pour that I ever did. This is a 30 by 40 canvas, so it's quite large. This is a little tricky to work with when it's this big. You need quite a bit of paint, and you can definitely use Dollar Tree acrylic paint to do this, but you will need quite a bit of it. So you might be better off buying it in bulk from like a craft store, or you can order your paints on Amazon. I'm gonna link all the paints that I used down below so you guys can check that out. But I'm basically using some different blues and grays, and we're going to make a very water beachy ocean type of wall decor here with this acrylic pour. So I'm starting out by pouring some white paint all over the canvas and kind of spreading that out. Mostly, I didn't get my paint all the way to the edges. I don't know if that's better or not to get it all the way to the edges, but I think even if you're not 100% to the edges, as you start tipping your canvas, it kind of depends on how much you want your paint to spread out. So if you really want to spread your color a lot, then the paint is gonna all spread to the edge. So you don't need to start out with the white being fully to the edge. But if you think that you actually want to keep your colors more toward the center and you don't want to spread them out as much, you might be better off to at least get the sides completely covered with paint right at the beginning, so that if you don't spread it that much, the sides will still already be covered. And that was kind of my mistake here, was, you guys will see in a minute, I'll explain that to you. But so this is going to be an open cup pour, and for that I'm taking like the top of a red plastic solo cup, and then you're going to take your paints and basically layer them in there. So I layered in lighter blues, darker blue, a very dark bluish gray tone. I layered in more of the white paint, and then also a nice silvery gray, which has a metallic sheen to it. So I think that that metallic one The metallic always adds like a really nice pretty pop as well. And you're basically going to either want to buy acrylic pouring paint, so it's already at the consistency that's good for pouring, or you're going to want to thin out your acrylic paint, in which case you can buy a pouring medium, which is what I did. I bought the Liquitex pouring medium with a gloss finish. I like that shinier gloss finish, so that is what I bought. And then I did about 1 part acrylic paint to about 3 parts of the pouring medium, and I just mixed that together really well. And to do that, you can see that I have a lot of these paper cups here from Dollar Tree, and then I just use popsicle sticks to mix my paints, and I get them all ready before I start pouring. So you want to just mix all the paints. You know, it can be a little bit tricky to know exactly how much paint you're going to need for this, but you know, don't worry, just kind of take a guess. It's better to do a little extra than not enough, but you know, if you run out, you can always add a little bit more as you go. I filled that open cup and just let the paint kind of flood out from underneath, and then move it over and fill it again, layering my paints in there. The more layers that you make, the more blending that you're gonna get. So if you want things to be less blended, just make larger layers and maybe do 1 thicker layer of each paint rather than multiple smaller layers of each paint, if that makes sense. Hopefully that's making sense to you guys. If you have any other questions, I am by no means an expert on this, so feel free to discuss this more in the comments. I would love to chat about it with you guys, but there's also tons of other like tutorials. So if you are looking to do kind of something specific and you want to follow along and watch other people paint, I know there's tons of like acrylic pouring painting videos as well here on YouTube, so you can get more inspiration, more ideas, and just, you know, kind of see more like artistic options, I guess, for things you can do with the paint. So many fun things to watch with that, but I had a lot of fun creating this one. Actually, now at this point, I kind of wish that I stopped. I feel like it looks amazing. I love how you see the gray and the light, very pastel blue color. It looks really pretty. I feel like it looks like an ocean splashing up, and so I think this looks really, really cool. However, because I did not have the paint all the way to the edge, this is kind of where I went wrong and I kind of made a little mistake. I didn't have the paint all the way to the edge with the white paint. So when I added more white paint on the edge, I could have taken put a glove on and just kind of spread the paint with my hand, and it probably would have spread out and dried just fine. I honestly think it would have, thinking back. However, I decided that I would pour some extra white paint on there, and then I would tip my canvas around even more. But just remember, as you're tipping your canvas, the paint will just continue flowing, and every second going by, you're ending up with a different piece of artwork, basically. So I actually liked it a little bit better before, but I am titling this acrylic pour painting artwork piece. I'm gonna title it Oceans. I feel like Oceans is just the perfect name, and it reminds me of a song, I think that's by Hillsong, titled Oceans, which is such a beautiful song. So it kept reminding me of that, and so I'm giving this to my sister for her new house, actually, as a birthday gift. So I hope she will enjoy this one. And I do have another one that I made for her as well. Then that one has more like turquoise and a little bit of gold in there. So I will share that one with you guys in a future video if that's something that you would want to see. Just comment down below and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Consider subscribing before you go, and please comment down below and let me know which one of these DIYs was your favorite. And as always, I wish you a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!